We have executed the gold standard when it comes to firing and directing our war at the terrorists and getting civilians out of harm's way.
You say you've set the gold standard. Your critics would say Israel is waging a genocidal war, according to UN experts. Israel finds itself in the docks in the International Criminal Court of Justice, which says there is plausible reason to believe genocide is being committed in Gaza. The EU says Israel is using starvation as a weapon against 2.2 million Gazans. It doesn't really sound like a gold standard. But a military offensive into Rafah will end in a slaughter, the UN warns. Tell us, how are you going to evacuate all these people?
In the same way that we've done in the past.
That didn't work very well. You told people to move to what was a safe zone, then your forces would end up bombing that area. Are you going to follow the same formula?
I won't be sharing with you our battle plans. They're being discussed right now.
I'm not asking about the battle plan, Mr. Mansour. I'm asking, how are you going to evacuate 1.4 million people out of Rafah?
We will do the same as we've done in other parts.
We've also seen people with white flags in plain sight being shot by your forces. We've also seen people in so-called safe zones being bombed. So we've seen...
So again, I would say to you that we feel we are the most humane army which has ever existed in living memory. We've done more to protect civilian lives. Where there have been, Yama, this is important. Let me share with you.
You even shot your own hostages.
Right.
That came
so
out
where
running
there have
alive, waved flags, and your soldiers
an extremely terrible occurrence that was.
More than 34,000 people have been killed in Gaza, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. Your government rejects these figures. Why?
Would you take the figures of Al-Qaeda at face value?
But the UN and WHO says the figures from the Gaza Health Ministry, Hamas's health ministry, are reliable. You claim you've killed 13,000 Hamas fighters, yet you haven't produced any lists whatsoever. No documentation. It's a number you're giving the world.
It's a number which our army has given to us.
Mansour, I ask you again, where is the concrete proof that you've killed 13,000 fighters? Okay, you claim it, but where is the proof? At least Hamas's health ministry has published lists confirming who has died several times.
I wouldn't take Hamas's word for anything, literally anything.
So we shouldn't believe Hamas, we shouldn't believe the UN, the World Health Organizations, all the aid groups on the ground, rights groups from all over the world. We shouldn't believe them, we should believe the Israeli government.
You'll excuse me if I feel extremely skeptical about almost anything which comes out of the United Nations.
Why don't you open Gaza for international press who can freely move around and check these tunnels for themselves? Because what you've done until now in this war, you've sealed the borders. No journalists, independent journalists, are allowed in to Gaza.
Emma, you've put this accusation to me. Let me give you Israeli government response.
It's not an accusation, it's a fact. You do not allow independent journalists access to the Gaza Strip.
You've put these points to me. Allow me to reply. This is a war zone, an active war zone.
Why should the international community pay for the destruction Israel caused in Gaza?
So once again, Yama, I don't have an answer to that question, and I don't want to make a commitment here on Norwegian TV.